Hello everyone, thanks for coming for today's podcast. Today we'll share a book about mindfulness called The Mindful Brain, written by Daniel J. Siegel. So it is a book discussing on mindfulness from three directions. First, it introduced the relationship between awareness and the brain. Then the author shared about his training experience of mindfulness and elaborate on mindfulness practices. And lastly, he followed up with some scientific evidence from the neuroscience field to demonstrate the actual effect of mindfulness. And after the discussion on mindfulness, he also suggested some potential usage or application directions. The author mentioned many times the importance of balance, like the balance between SOC, S-O-C-K, which stands for sensation, observation, conceptualization and knowing during any experience or mindful practice in order to allow all the senses to emerge and prevent domination by certain elements. We can see the author put this rationale into practice when writing the book, as the book reveals mindfulness from both subjective experience of the writer and also the objective evidence from the science. The balanced perspective allows us to see the whole view of mindfulness by both conceptualizing it and experiencing it as it is. Now, let's stop the general introduction of the book and move on to our main topic. So, the book aims to find the linkage between mindfulness and the change of our brain and ourselves. It suggests that mindfulness can help improve our physical health, like the immune system and the heart, psychological and interpersonal functioning, and lastly, the relation of us with ourselves. Surrounding this aim, the book first argues that such change can be made by training our meta-awareness and narrative self. It starts with the example in the Week of Silence, where the author notices many thoughts emerge, and was told that it is the proliferation of the mind. Like most of us, before learning mindfulness, the author has a question that if thoughts are actually inferior or serve as an obstacle for us to be mindful. And he learned from the instructor that thoughts, just like sensation, can be accepted in a non-judgmental way, which is an important concept for mindfulness. Throughout the learning from the instructor, we can understand that mindfulness requires sustained attention to prevent uncontrolled thoughts from interfering with our true experience of the world. This demonstrates that part of the nature of mindfulness is about the training. After the subjective experience, in the later part, the author provided the biological evidence on the change. First, he describes mindfulness as using the social circuitry to try to understand our own mind, just like how it normally functions to understand others. Then, he highlights the fact that the middle prefrontal area structurally links everything in the brain, and suggests that its interlinked region can mediate line middle prefrontal functions, and link the body, brainstem, limbic, cortical, and social processes together. The author called this linkage to different separate regions of the brain neural integration, and suggested that it will be promoted by attunement of secure attachments. At the same time, evidence shows mindfulness can promote intrapersonal attunement. Thus, this suggests mindfulness may also provide neural integration. This established the possibility that mindfulness can change us in terms of our body, emotion, thoughts, and socialization components like empathy and morality. Then, the author further includes evidence like the study by Lazar et al. 2005 to demonstrate the causal effect, where mindfulness increased thickness of both the middle prefrontal cortex and the related neural circuit insula. And the longer the time spent practicing mindfulness, the larger the change. This further supports the point we mentioned just now, and proves that the change in our physical health, psychology, and interpersonal functioning can indeed be achieved by practicing mindfulness through the path of changing the brain structurally and then functionally. It verified the argument of the writer. However, is this really true as of today? Not only we should be mindful, we should also be critical in thinking. Hence, We compared the evidence provided by the book with the current literature. According to a meta-analysis of Foss et al. 2014, although the claims aren't 100% firm due to the methodological limitation, there are indeed reliable changes in the brain structure related to meta-awareness and body awareness, memory, and emotion. Just like how the book states, this supports the claim that mindfulness can induce those changes. However, the changes in article isn't exactly the same as what the book mentioned. There are some overlaps like prefrontal area and insula, but there are also some non-overlapping parts. Like the article didn't mention about the change on middle prefrontal cortex explicitly, but it mentioned the change of hippocampus, which in turn that's explained by the book. But still, as the article mostly focused on meditation, while the book is on mindfulness as a whole, the difference is conceivable, and it also didn't conflict with the book arguments, and is rather supportive of mindfulness' capacity on causing the mentioned change. Another article by Brewer et al. 2011 also supported the author's idea in a different way. It suggested that meditation can help reduce activity in default mode region, which in turn decrease mind wandering and self-referential processing. This directly agrees with author's idea that mindfulness can reduce narrative chatter and increase meta-awareness. However, there is also studies suggesting otherwise. In Goldberg et al. 2022 study, the 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR) had no significant difference with the control group in the changes in gray matter volume, density, or cortical thickness. Thus, there is no evidence for MBSR to affect brain structure in short-term training. This kind of contrasts with what we expected if we follow the book. There should be some changes in the brain after the MBSR course. This difference in finding possibly due to different methods of the practice, such as meditation and MBSR, or the difference in practice length, or maybe even the difference in experience of the participants on mindfulness. As in Goldberg et al., the participants are all beginners. They may not be able to practice correctly in the first few lessons. This reflects that the book's suggested change may have certain restrictions or criteria in order to happen, and further studies to testing out different variables like participants' experience or course length is needed. An interesting point to notice is that although Goldberg et al. Is partially against the suggested structural change in the book, the MBSR can still effectively cause changes in certain neural function and connectivity related to amygdala, as well as some psychological and cognitive change. This demonstrated that despite the lack of structural change, the psychological and cognitive changes can still occur through practicing mindfulness. This partially agrees with the book. After sharing about the book argument and its consistency with current literature, I would like to also share some of my thoughts. In my opinion, the writer contributes to mindfulness by providing detailed proof on the impact of mindfulness in a scientific way. In current era, people often rely on evidence and being skeptical about some unknown power or practices. However, mindfulness is often related to those supernatural powers, just like how other psychology theories are being mixed with some pseudoscience information. Worse still, with the current social media algorithm, those false information sometimes can demonstrate some so-called more significant or interesting impact and become more popular and widely spread. The result is the misunderstanding towards those topics, including mindfulness. People, especially well-educated ones, may question about the mindfulness' actual credibility. With the scientific evidence provided by the author, this helps more people to understand the actual benefits of mindfulness, which helps the spreading of mindfulness practice and allows it to help more people. Another thing is the author's inclusion of his own practice. This provides a new way for scientists to investigate and present mindfulness. by becoming one of the participants and directly being involved in the practices. This allows the book not just including the shell, the scientific evidence, knowledge, or concept of mindfulness, but also including the core, which is the experience part of mindfulness. Lastly, I would like to reflect on my own habits, which is the informal practice I will do whenever I walk, especially the road between home and the MTR station. As I walk, I will watch the surrounding scenery, with no intention of achieving anything. I just observe, and sometimes there are thoughts that sprout out. I acknowledge them, but never linger on them. I guess this is the stage that the author mentioned, and this is the balance that we can achieve. I hope after hearing this podcast, when you look at something, you can know what it is, while seeing what it actually is. Stay mindful, stay present.